Hello, everyone, and welcome to TarotStache. TarotStache. Oh, I think we just found a new name. It's Twillow Talk, but we were talking about TarotStache just before the show.
Hang on. We can make that happen.
TarotStache.
Oh, golly.
Welcome to TarotStache.
The three of us, we are TarotStache.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I'm writing this down. I'm documenting this. So it's like, say, Monday.
Once a month, we go from Twillow Talk to TarotStache.
TarotStache.
And that was at 5:02.
That is the best. Oh my God.
So I'm Janice Coughlin from the Holistic Community. Welcome to TarotStache.
We've broken.
There you go.
And I am co-hosting TarotStache with
Hello.
Jennifer
I'm
Jurkofsky.
Jennifer Jurkofsky with My Holistic Self Counselling. And yeah.
And of course, Gerald from TarotStache.
Hello.
Also
Amazing.
now.
I love that. I love it when stuff like that happens.
Isn't it fantastic? Oh my
Holy
God.
mackerel.
Oh, that's
See,
so
I even
cool.
wrote it down. So
There we go. Perfect.
Perfect.
Wow. Wow. You all, please, here's the thing I would say. Everybody, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up to show your support for TarotStache.
TarotStache. That's going to have to be a new hashtag, right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to adjust for Gerald's on the top there from Twillow Talk to just really
TarotStache.
this is the
There you
new
go.
this is the new way of
Once a month we do TarotStache.
This
It's
is
perfect.
crazy.
it is fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to have a new what do you call it there? Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
A new thing.
A new thingy. Yeah.
A new thingy. I do have to say happy Thanksgiving to both of you. It's lovely to be able to share space with you. Thank you for inviting me to join you. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So,
it's always
Awesome.
a pleasure to have you on TarotStache.
I mean, you're part of what makes it what it is.
Exactly.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
I love
it.
those too.
What's that?
All of the chats and everything. Lots.
Yes. Look at all the people that are joining us.
Lots
We need
of-
to say hello to some people on our channel here. So we have a work lurker.
Ooh,
Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. Jamie.
that's Jamie. She
Hey,
is part of
Jamie.
the best chatters, the best lurkers, the work lurkers, and the future lurkers.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Hello.
And we have Hershey, the shadow reader. Hello.
Hey, Hershey.
And we have Kaylee from Foco Poco.
Hello. Happy
Hello.
Thanksgiving.
And,
Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy
Kaylee is
Thanksgiving to
also
all of our Canadian.
Woo Woo Wonderment.
She is. She
And
is.
I'll stop talking in a second. Said Gerald never. But she hosted me on a show on her channel about Thanksgiving and things for which we're grateful. It was lovely.
Beautiful.
So we can check that out at Woo Woo Wonderment or at
Yes.
TarotStache?
Woo Woo Wonderment.
Okay, Woo Woo Wonderment. Okay,
Beautiful.
perfect.
And then we have Oil Painter. Hello.
Diana,
Joining
Wonder
us.
Woman.
Ooh, nice.
And Jonathan. Aloha, TarotStache. Hello.
Hi, Jonathan.
I think Kaylee approves.
I think everybody approves.
I think so too.
Oh my gosh. So it's a thing. I mean,
It's a
we're-
thing.
It is a thing.
It has been said.
I know.
Brenda, great to see you.
Hey, Brenda.
Hello.
And we have Joanne. Hello.
Joanne.
And
Love it. Everybody's coming in.
oh, there you go. Kaylee said, I told you there would be gigglers.
Oh my God, that's
Giggle-
right.
giggle-
She came up
giggle
with the
keepers.
new a phrase, gigglers instead of triggers.
Yeah.
Giggers.
Giggles.
I love it.
Love it.
Giggers.
Yeah.
Giggers.
That is fantastic. Well, we've got lots of giggers. Giggers.
Lots of giggers tonight. And we have Hypnocity. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. I'll take care of that, Kaylee. I got it.
Yeah. Kaylee's pretty good at the artsy stuff too.
She
We
is,
have to do a, you know,
Let's see.
full-
You can like come up with some other idea to go with it.
a
There we
full.
go. And Betsy. Hello, Betsy.
Love it.
And Betsy and Hershey, meeting Betsy Palmer and Hershey the Shadow Reader, are going to be on a Laugh and Learn on my channel tomorrow, where we're talking about receiving, the idea and the importance of being willing to receive, the spiritual gifts. And so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Really
awesome.
looking forward to that.
Sounds lovely. That's
Great
awesome.
topic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good topic. Good topic.
Mhm.
And let's see here. Who else have we got with us? We have Sandra.
Hello,
Sandra
hello,
Doello. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Jonathan says hello. Hola.
Hello.
Aloha.
Hello, my friends.
Aloha, hola, whatever. It's
And this is what Twillow talk happens when it transforms into Twillow stache.
That's
It just
right.
gets giggly.
Mhm.
giggly and silly.
You got it.
And we have Jen from Joyful Journey.
Hello,
Hello, hello. We
hello.
have Linda, Mivy.
Hi, Linda.
Hello. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We have Joanna Van Winkle. Hello, hello. We have Rose Blue from Texas.
Oh, amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you for being with us.
Great to see you all. And we have Keba Lyons. Hello.
Kiba.
Hello,
Kiba.
hello.
Kiba Lyons. Thank you all for joining us.
Awesome. Very cool.
There we go.
Yep.
Giggle trigger is a gigger.
You got
Gigger,
Love it.
Yes.
That is it. Amazing.
Awesome.
All right.
So yes, we have had quite the week
As you
with a
do.
lot of things. Apparently, we're starting off the week with a lot of things.
Lots
Which
of going
is
on in the
fun.
energies.
It
Yes,
is
very true.
It is. We had some, when we're looking at aurora activity, we had some pretty huge aurora activity last week. I'll just pull up the KP index because this is something we actually haven't looked at all that much. I usually stick to some of the other things, but, and actually, of course, now that we're a day further into it, it's not actually showing on the graph anymore, but I'm going to show it to you just in case. So the Potsdam KP index here, on the 10th of October, this was up here and
You
it
gotta
was
show
red.
it to us.
Oh, I do have to show it to you. Okay,
There we
here
go.
we go. Hello, everyone. Here it is. So it doesn't look too noteworthy here right now. However, on the 10th and the 11th of October, this was like up at like 8
Mhm.
and it was red. So we
Oh.
had a whole lot up there. It's quieted down now to more normal levels, but during that time we actually had some huge aurora activity.
Mhm.
We were even seeing it as low as Ontario, where we were like big time. We had a whole bunch of flares last week as well, in terms of solar flares. Not too much going on today. We've actually had some really low points in the last day or so, which is interesting as well. That feels different for us too.
Yeah.
So good to note. We did have CME come in 3 days ago, so you may have felt something with that. And if we're looking at our Schumann, it's been fairly quiet, not too bad here in our power.
So may I press pause for a moment, and
Yes.
because we've got a lot of people watching who may not have watched before.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All of this stuff, all of this energy is coming from
Sun.
the outer space in the universe and the sun.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And what does it do for us here on Earth, may I ask?
Yes.
Mhm.
So when we have solar flares and such, as you see here, these are little spikes in that. So what happens, I can actually show you here. You see these spots here on the sun. Those are little solar storms, and they spit out little solar flares, which means they spit out plasma and energy out from the sun.
Mhm.
And when it's just wisps of it, we do feel it in the atmosphere as it comes towards the earth.
Mhm.
And it does help to bring in light codes for us and
Okay.
boost our energy. When we
Good.
have coronal mass ejections or the CMEs, it's like balls of plasma that get thrown at the earth.
Mhm.
And if they hit the atmosphere, then we get a little bump. So of course we're vibrating and we get a bump in our vibration. We vibrate a little bit more. So they are all helping to raise our vibration as we're going through all of this. And then the Schumann is the measurement of the vibrational frequency of the earth. So this is fairly quiet. We've seen some huge spikes kind of like this one in recent years. And you know, the baseline is 7.8 hertz, and this is up at 10 today. So even though it's above our average baseline, this is still pretty quiet compared to what it's been. We've been up in the 90s, like every second day for a while. And so it really does make a difference on how you're feeling on the earth.
So
these
this
things.
is the earth. This is the
Yes.
resonance of the earth.
Yes. The earth itself vibrates.
Okay.
And so the Schumann resonance is what measures the vibrational frequency of the earth itself.
Really very interesting, because then when we match what we have here in the earth, and then we have stuff coming from the sun, I'm saying above and below.
Yeah.
And then you add all of the stuff with the transits and astrology. Sometimes it can feel, well, I think Hypnicity said, we can feel very discombobulated for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
We just get shaken up because we're in between it all. We vibrate too.
fascinating.
We all have all these different vibrations that are all kind of melding together. So it
Okay.
is a little discombobulating for us.
Yeah.
With all of that.
Thank you for taking the time to do that. I've seen a lot of
Absolutely.
great people watching, and I'm like going, let's use an opportunity and learn.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Yes,
Definitely.
that's awesome.
Well, and we've actually talked about it, Gerald, when we did our talk on transits and all, we talked
Mhm.
about neutrinos. So from the human design perspective, it kind of gives us the science behind why all of this stuff that's happening out there is actually impacting us here. And we learn about these things called neutrinos, which are, tiny, tiny bits of mass that carry energy. Right. And since we have 100 trillion neutrinos that are passing through all of these stars, right? The sun, the stars, all of that every second. You think about, even though they're these microscopic bits of energy, they're still hitting us and passing through us and bringing information that they've gathered from everything that they've passed through along the way. And that information imprints on us.
Right.
And so
okay.
That's the download of information that we're getting with each of
Exactly.
these.
Wow.
Right. And so we may consciously get it. If it's a download, we might be more aware of what's happening. But it also impacts us whether we're conscious of it or not. Right. And so the more we are attuned to kind of what's happening, the more aware we are of what to watch for. It really can help us to navigate, what's going on.
And I think part of that navigation is understanding what's going on so we can make informed choices with how we engage in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing, right? Is to help us to understand ourselves and how we can maneuver the energies and where does it bring us when we need to talk to other humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Or
whatever.
To other humans.
Or whatever, even if it's not humans.
Or whatever. There is that, yes.
Yes.
but it does impact our own narrative. It impacts the story that we hold for ourselves. It impacts how we interact. It impacts all of that. Right. And so, it's
Absolutely.
it's definitely powerful. I see Hypnicity has a question there about like how much is already within us and are we attracting these things? Like, can we control what we bring in? And there's a yes and no,
Yeah.
right, to that, because some of us may already have certain aspects within our design, right? So I think last week I was talking about the transit, and I said, this is an energy that I'm familiar with, right? It's in my design. It's something I have activated as a channel. So it doesn't impact me in the same way as it would impact somebody who, say, doesn't have it activated or has a hanging gate opposite
Mhm.
it. And we can, get into what all of that is at some point. I think we've even talked about it, Gerald, in some of our
Yeah.
human design shows. But in terms of what we're attracting and, can we control what we bring in? It's not like we're even attracting these, right? Neutrinos are just coming, and they're just coming through, and they're coming through the whole planet, right? We're all being impacted by them. And so in that sense, we don't really control it. But when it comes to what we attract, yeah, we definitely have power in that, in terms of understanding the energy and moving through, what we allow in our experience, what we allow, what we observe in our experience, I think is even a better word with that, because that's going to impact our perception. Right. So we talk about the transits, and I guess I might as well share them, unless you guys want to say anything to that before I do.
Go for it.
Okay.
You're muted, Tanis.
Yes, I think go ahead. That was good.
Okay. So yesterday we went into a new transit. We're in the gate 32, or the gene key 32. And this energy, gene key aspect, shadow, failure, siddhi, veneration, with the gift of preservation, right? And we look at that and we go failure, right? And immediately there's this like kind of feeling that comes with it. So this is, when we talk about what we can control and what we can't control, this is a really important aspect, because Richard Rudd, when he talks about failure, Richard Rudd is the one who brought in the gene keys. He talks about this idea of how we go into a place of panic, right? When we feel like we've failed something, or we feel like we don't have enough time or an ability to do something right. And this failure can be on multiple levels, right? Like we can have an individual failure, like I failed a test, or I failed in terms of a communication, or who knows what it is, right? And then there is like this global collective kind of failure of, we haven't ended world hunger, right? Like there is this kind of energy that's there, that's undercurrent of so much of what we're experiencing. And Richard brings it down to, and I think this is really beautiful, that it's really about fulfilling our highest purpose, right? And what does that even mean, right? Our highest purpose. And the way that he expresses that is really just this idea of living our life well, right? And whatever that means for us, but living our life well. And if we're able to honor that, this preservation, right? It's about continuity and preserving that which we love, or that which we're attuned to, or that which resonates for us in our experience. And if we can do that, then failure in and of itself isn't what we even think it is, right? Because in that moment, we can bring in grace, we can bring in compassion, we can allow ourselves to just honor transition and the way that things ebb and flow in life. And so one of the examples that he uses in his writing is about the end of a friendship, right? If a relationship falls apart, and we might look at that and go, that's a failure, right? I didn't do that right. I didn't honor that right. I didn't, whatever it is. And yet, if we're able to move through that with grace, and we're honoring our truth, and we're holding space for that, then that ending isn't even a failure, right? We're able to really honor and preserve what we need in our experience, or what is correct for us. And the transformation of being able to do that really brings in that siddhi, right? That veneration, that ability to really hold space for what is true in our lives, right? It's about letting go of the illusion of perception. It's about letting go of habits and things like that. And so, when we look at the energy of the transit, we want to look at it and go, okay, if I am feeling this heaviness around failure, can I explore that and see what my perception is, and then move towards what my truth is, right? And that's a lot of the energy that we have right now for healing.
Cool thing about perception is it can be reframed.
Yes.
Do I have to do something, or do I get to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. And it speaks to, we've talked about this on the show, right? Is this is happening to me versus this is happening for me.
Yeah.
Right. And so I love those reframes, ethnicity, and that ability to just kind of, look at the way that we're perceiving something, the way we're telling ourselves our story,
Mm-hmm.
and what else is possible.
Well, and Kaylee, Woo Woo Wonderman, had actually talked about, she used that, she dropped that phrase, happening for me and not to me. And I think that's could be a very helpful reframing of what's going on. And I do couch it like that. Could be a helpful thing, because sometimes we may not be ready for that reframing. If we need to sit in our own stuff for a while, and then we can go, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this failure. And so I need to look into that. So shifting again, look at me, I'm pointing. Apologies. I'm, Twillow stache where, Gerald there's a great deal of importance of the words that we use.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
well, words are spells.
choice,
They create.
Yes, words are spells.
They do.
And they do create. And I think it's an opportunity for us to slow down and to go, what did I just say? And to go, it's a teacher mode. What did I just say? And how could I say it differently for my desired outcome, or to feel, as Jen, you were saying, that I'm in alignment.
Yeah.
How do I do this? See, I'm listening to you, Jen. I'm listening to you. I love that alignment. That idea. How do we align with that? So
yeah.
Wise words from a great teacher. I can't take the credit. Gee, who is the teacher? I mean,
I think it might have been me.
There you go.
I use that a lot. So Kaylee's been busy behind the scenes.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
Developing TarotStache.
There you go. Oh, my gosh. It looks like Sideshow Bob with a mustache from. Oh my god!
Very cute. We'll work on a similar.
I love that.
Similar thing. So we have a couple more people that have arrived.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to TarotStache.
Welcome to TarotStache, the stash show of Twillow.
The stash show of Twillow. Oh gosh. Okay. Being silly.
Okay, so we have butterflies are free. Hello. Welcome. We have Margie Lynn. Hey,
hello.
How you doing? Hope you got home safe and sound. She was traveling this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's lots of comments going around here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, good. Betsy found it comforting. And I think that was in around our Schumann and solar flare discussion.
Yeah.
And there was one thing I think I missed back here. Oh, this one here.
Let the dogs in, Jen.
Yeah.
I know.
Jen has dog things going on. I would say that any of that will create a disturbance, right? In the disturbance in the force. So you do get some of that stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is still kind of discombobulated lately. Vertigo, ear ringing, coordination is off. Yep. I'm feeling that too. I've had vertigo on and off as well for the last few months. So I hear ya. And we also have Natalie Solar Olson.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome.
So,
Good stuff. So welcome, everyone.
Mhm.
Oh, no. We're sending you lots of healing energy, Hershey.
Yeah.
hi, Hershey.
Rest
Yeah.
well.
You need some extra water, dear, and change
Yeah.
the crystals that are you've got on your person.
There you go. Okay. Wise words from the TarotStache.
Mhm.
There you
Jonathan wishes you well as well. Hope you're feeling better.
go.
All right. All right. We do have the best chatters. They're all wishing each other well. Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love the community.
Beautiful community.
Mhm.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
So,
Do
are we going to
wanna-
pick a topic?
Yeah.
Should we pick a little chat
So I
topic?
got the
We
deck
got the
out.
soul truth.
We're getting about halfway through it.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that.
All right. What do they have for us? Okay. How can I deepen my trust right now?
Ooh. Okay. Trust. That's a deep one.
Trust, surrender. Let go of the wheel. You can trust. You can trust yourself. Trust fully in yourself so that you can deepen your trust in others. Trust creates safety, and when we feel safe, we feel unstoppable. Today's soul action: let go and trust. Today, find your center in the chaos and be certain with yourself so you can deepen your trust in others.
So this, to me, what stands out for me for that, right away, I'm thinking we just talked about failures, right? If we perceive that we have failed, then we've already let ourselves down. And so how do we create that self-trust, right? If we feel that we have let ourselves down.
Yeah.
It's
this be careful who you give your trust to. It's an interesting thing, and I talk often to clients about this in terms of the more that we trust ourselves, the less we have to worry about trusting other people.
That's right.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the more that we trust in ourselves, the more we know that we're going to be able to handle whatever comes our way. Right? The more trust we have in ourselves, the more we trust that we're going to be able to feel into things, that we're going to be able to intuitively be able to tap into what we need or don't need, what's healthy for us and what's not. And so often we talk about, I don't know if I trust this person. I don't know if I can trust this situation. I don't know if I can trust what's coming. And it's like, okay, but if you trust yourself, all of that's going to work itself out.
Yeah. Well, and that speaks to being authentic to who you are. Right? If you can trust yourself and be authentic and not like give up your power to someone else, then you're standing in your own trust. You build trust with yourself the more that you can stand in that, right?
Yes. Well, and I think trust is something that as we are growing up, we develop a sense of trust in ourselves by being allowed to try something and having the adults around us supporting us when things don't go exactly right, and how they frame that as a way of, okay, you fell down, now let's get up and do some more. It's like, I know a lot, I'm not a parent, nor do I play one on TV, but the idea is kids oftentimes trust yourself to survive everything that comes along. You have so far. But it's that idea is like, if you notice kids at a certain age, they're playing on their own, but they're always watching to see if their adult is looking at them and noticing them. And then when they fall down or they do something, they're watching the adult to help them to help lead them into the response for that.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that's an important thing about trust is because suddenly it's like they're watching, and you know they may give you a thumbs up when you fell down and you got back up. I don't know why that seemed to be important. It was just that idea of feeling that sense of you know, we can reframe a lot of things for ourselves, because I love that. How can I deepen my trust for, you know, myself? You know, that's
Mhm.
more we trust ourselves.
Yeah.
I needed to hear surrender today. I've been trying to get 3 projects rolling, and all are sitting in neutral for weeks. We'll just sit back and rest for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's, you know, being in your own flow, right? It helps you to trust yourself. If I always find if I'm trying to go against the grain, against what is supposed to happen, then I'm not in flow, and then I create distrust with myself because I'm trying so hard to do something and it's not working properly because I'm not in flow. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this is another area where the transits are really powerful, right? Because we can look at, you know, a moment where we have the energy, we have the capacity, we have the focus, we have all of that. And maybe something in particular has been activated for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so during that time, we have access to that energy.
Yeah.
But then when that shifts again, we have to be able to ebb with that as well and go, okay, this is a time of rest. This is a time of reflection. That's okay. The moment that that energy is activated for me again, I know I'll be able to move with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So something that you said, Tanis, and I was writing, so when we have things, you know, when we're in neutral and we need to go with the flow,
Mm-hmm.
and we get into that zone and we feel that energy, we feel that alignment, and things are flowing very nicely. I think that's great. In those times, things can still be difficult and can still be challenging, yet there is this underlying flow and sense of alignment.
Yeah.
This is challenging for me because I have never created a website. This is challenging for me because I don't know about that, or I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. But it's different than when there's obstacles that keep showing up
That's
that
right.
take me out of my flow,
Mm-hmm.
because being taken out of my flow when I'm out of alignment, there's an indication that there may be some other things going on.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I find that if you're in flow, and even if there are challenges like that of the unknown, you can integrate it easier. Like I find that I learn better, for instance, right? That sort of thing when we're in flow.
Well, and when I'm in flow and I fail, I'm like going, well, that didn't work. Let's see what else does.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Yeah. And if roadblocks come up, if we're in flow and we hit a roadblock, you know, we're going to be able to look at that and know, is this a roadblock because I'm, you know, not meant to move forward yet? Is this a roadblock because there's something I need to overcome? Is this a roadblock because I'm in flow, but part of that is also that I do have to rest, right? Like there are times where those things do come into play just to help us to take care of ourselves too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Or is it a roadblock because you need to ask for help?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In order to receive.
Oh,
More about this on
Yes, more
TarotStache.
about this on TarotStache Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. But yeah,
Shameless plugs.
yeah. But I mean it's interesting. Okay, so we're moving from, you know, the transits, something with failure, and then to what? Which one are we moving into then, Jen?
the
Or have we moved
energy
from?
of it. No, so shadow is failure, right? But then the gift energy of that is preservation.
Okay.
Right? And preservation is really about continuity, right? And so, you know, we we go through and we try to preserve, like sometimes desperately, things that don't really serve us, right? We try to preserve our identities. We try to preserve, certain kind of aspects that are often just part of the illusion, right? This gate is part of the ring of illusion when we're looking at codon rings and all of that. So we have to look at it and go, what is going on for me here? What am I trying to preserve? And is what I'm trying to preserve that maybe I'm failing at, is it because this isn't really meant for me to preserve?
Right.
And you said preservation and continuity. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. I mean, when
I
we talk,
love that. I love that because no, I'm because I'm globbing, I'm in writing mode. I'm
Mhm.
taking all sorts of notes. Apparently there's reasons for this. But I think it's important. Preservation doesn't mean things stay the same. It means things grow and evolve as the environment or the situation grows and evolves.
Mhm.
Therefore, we can learn and we can expand as spiritual beings and as humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's powerful. Powerful stuff, people.
It
And
really
what's the
is.
city?
When we get into the heart of these things, it's quite incredible, the contemplation that can happen and how we can grow from it. Right. So the siddhi is veneration. Right.
Okay.
And so when we think about that, like this idea of a profound respect, honoring, like deeply honoring that which is true for us. Right. So if we get back to, okay, our ultimate purpose is to live a life well, whatever that means for us. Right. And well doesn't mean everything's easy. It doesn't mean everything's good. It doesn't mean that we, go through without any road bumps. Right. But when we hit those things, did I honor my truth in that moment? Did I trust myself? Did I allow myself to have an unfolding? Did I grow from it? Did I expand? Did I allow myself to feel the feels? Right? Did I allow myself to move through it in a way that truly honors what I consider a life well lived? Right? And if I can do that, then that's where that veneration can come into play, because I am honoring my process and I'm not trying to preserve something that isn't true for me.
Yeah. Preserving is a thread in our tapestry. That's nice.
Beautiful.
And yeah. Yeah.
And we think that we make it and we're done, but really it's an ongoing process and project learning as we go.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
my website alone is evolved like a gazillion times over the years and changed and become something else. And, it's such a simple example of life, right? Like we're constantly changing and flowing. And if we're able to honor that, right, then what is being preserved is not, and the website's such a great idea because it's like the idea of image, right? The image of my website, what it was when I first built it, which was like 15 years ago, to what it is now is like totally different. It's completely different. Everything about it is different. I think the only thing that's the same is the name.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes to this because the image, how we think about ourselves, what we think is correct for us, all of that, if it's a mental thing, it's going to have to change over time. But the core of it, who we really are, what we value, what is important to us in our experience, which for me, as the website analogy, is the name of it, right? That always stays the same throughout. That's what I'm preserving. I'm preserving, the deeper aspect of it.
So is there a woo-woo webmaster out there? I do know a few people that are woo-woo, that build websites and all of that stuff. I know Gary Chatham, who's one of our teachers at the Twillow Lifestyle Academy, does that. And I know a few others too, I think, that are in in our area. So I guess it depends what area you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it is possible.
Yeah, there you go. If there is, I'm at hypnocity.com. There you go.
Cool. Okay.
I love that idea of veneration, deeply honoring that is true. Because that is, again, it is about the framing and how we are looking at it. Because, I think that we need to honor our experiences.
Yeah.
We honor our failures.
Mm-hmm.
And we move. We continue to evolve and expand and grow. So I think that's really, really potent, especially there has been in the last 3 years, 6 months, so much energy coming in and fluctuating and causing us to have things to resonate with us, but we don't know, things that have been activated. It's like, what in the heck is this? I don't know what this is. What does this mean? And so desperately there's a seeking out of an understanding. What does this mean? If that makes sense. It's like, and it's like, okay, I that, what is it, the Native American thing? I don't see that shit because I've never seen that shit before, but suddenly the vibrations change and I start to notice it, and then I have a name for it. Oh, okay. There you go. It's really powerful. So
yeah. Well, and as we look at it too, right, part of it is also changing our stories, right? Because over time we recognize that some of the stories are not what has actually, happened, or is not necessarily the way that, what we've experienced is not necessarily what has actually transpired.
yes.
Right. And so again, that piece of trusting ourselves, part of that is also recognizing how much we don't really know, and how much of our knowing is not necessarily accurate, and that's okay. And we can still trust ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Because our perception is our reality, right?
Mm-hmm. And we need that ability to, open our perception a bit to allow more information in. Then we have to be willing to process that information as it relates to my story. And that there's 3 sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth.
Yeah.
So,
and that's not meant to put anybody down in that either, right?
No.
It's not like anybody purposely goes out to tell. Well, I mean, I guess there are people that purposely do it, but I mean, in general, people, I like to think, don't go out to purposefully tell a story that's in error related to somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's just natural that's how it works. So big hello to Mary Hernandez Walker.
Hello.
Thank you. Lots of love and support to you as well.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So when it comes to trusting yourself, right, what are some of the roadblocks that we have for trusting ourselves? Right? Because we talk about, trust and surrender, right? And I know, I can speak from my own experience, and I've shared a bit about this with all of you through, other shows and things like that. But, having moments of, really trying to figure it all out and pushing and all of that, and getting to a place where ultimately surrender has to happen. Right? In that moment, the mind stopped trying to figure it out. Yeah. And all of a sudden I knew what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hypnicity says self-doubt. I would say yes. That's probably a big one for me too.
Yes. Yeah.
And hello, Trisha Wartooth.
Hello, Trisha.
She says doubt.
Mm.
Absolutely. So fear really is a big roadblock, right?
Fear's a big one for me. Yeah. Fear. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it is one of those, it's a funny thing. It's fear of failure. It's fear of success. It's fear of being misunderstood. It's a fear of looking silly. It's a fear of not being accurate. There's a lot of things that are out there.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember with our 100th episode show, there were 6 of us on, and we were all experiencing our own forms of self-doubt and imposter syndrome and all of that stuff. It's funny because Jonathan just said that. All 6 of us were on here, and we were all going through that. We're all like,
Yeah. That was a really good show. It was a
great show. Yeah, go back and watch it, guys, if you get a chance. It was a great show.
It was.
We were joined by Jacqueline Richards and Jeff Pulver and Ramsey Cheedy, and the 3 of us. It was great. Fear of rejection. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And when we look at these things, right, like imposter syndrome and fear of rejection and even self-doubt, looking at it from light of this transit, this idea of this image that we have projected from ourselves that we want to be recognized for or seen for, or we want people to accept or want in their experience, right? And all of these things come in, and then all of a sudden there is this fear of, oh, all of this that I think is me, is that accepted by you, right? And we don't necessarily recognize that all of this that I think is me isn't even really me, right? And now I'm holding to this, I need to be this way, or I need to be perceived in this way. And the moment that anybody challenges it or questions it or anything, it's like the card house crumbles, right? Because it's been built, but it hasn't been built on this strong foundation of who we really are and who we know we are to our core.
And one of the things that's really nice is you can have another foundation. You can build you can shore up your foundation. You can create a new one. You can do all sorts of things with your foundation. It can take a lot of work and dedication. And it can be a slow and steady process.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But even to know that we need a new foundation, we need to experience failure and surrender.
That's right.
And then trust.
Ooh, snap.
Yeah. Because then why would we change?
Yeah.
If we don't think there's anything wrong, why would we change? Or anything that could be improved on. Even if we don't want to label it as wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk about let go and trust, right? The surrender side of this, right? What are we holding on to?
Let go and trust. Yeah, right. Let go, Gerald.
Yeah. What are we holding on to?
Here, let me get my tiny hands and hold on. That's going to be a fun ride. Oh. Well, I think part of that is let go and trust in ourselves.
Well, a lot of it is, I think, trusting in ourselves is key. I think we've just come full circle with that because I think you mentioned that at the beginning, Jen, about trusting that.
Yeah. Hi, Karen Johansson.
Hello, Karen. Thank you for joining us.
And I think I saw Sandra Doelle in there. More of the best chatters have shown up for the inaugural episode of TarotStache.
TarotStache. Next month, watch for new branding on TarotStache.
And Devaria.
Yes, Devaria. Hello.
Thanks
for joining us.
Yes, I refer to her as Saint D.
Oh, awesome.
Saint D.
Saint D, because she
Hey,
is a
Saint
saint.
D.
Yeah.
So no pressure.
Yeah.
And when we finally let go, the freedom is amazing.
It absolutely is.
Mhm.
You know, and it's interesting too, right? Like we talk about this and we've come back to it now a couple of times, like just the TarotStache or the Twillow piece, right? And it's such a beautiful example too, right? Like in that moment, something came out. It was not what was intended to come out, but it was absolutely perfect to come out, right? And you know, in that moment, I think that there's always the possibility, and I've done this myself, where I've said something and gone, "Ooh, how's that going to be received? What's going to happen there? Did I just mess that up? I don't know." Right. And then immediately we wait to see what somebody else does. I'm not saying that you did that, Tanis, but just that
Yes,
you
I did.
wait to see what the reaction is. And then we go, is this okay? Is this not okay? Right. And by being able to not take ourselves so seriously, right. To have that humor, to have that fun with it, to just roll with it. Even if everybody was like, what? That's ridiculous. Be like, yeah, okay. But it was still funny. Right. But of course, that's not ridiculous. It was awesome. But
That's how
attention.
that's how this came about. I was doing readings, and I was meant to say paying attention, and it was playing attention, and I'm like going, that's stash tag worthy.
Love
Well,
it.
that's like courageous.
Mhm.
Right? I was trying to say creative and courageous, and it came out as courageous. And now it's kind of stuck, even though it's a little bit challenging to say at times. It's still stuck. I'm actually working on a series called that.
Oh, awesome.
Very nice. Everybody like and subscribe so that you can know when that happens.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even funny when you get some distance.
Yes.
From it. Yes.
Definitely. And and the idea behind that too is that if we can get to a place where we don't take ourselves so seriously, right? Now we're not as connected to the illusion. It's not a failure when we need to shift. We're able to surrender, right? Like just the ability to be open and curious, like we've talked about so much, really the space that can be held for that when we allow humor and don't take ourselves so seriously, it's absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was me like a few years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I would have been horrified that I did that. Instead, I was like, hi, it's me.
And it just turned into,
And now it's turned into a new show.
Well, and those are those strikes of inspiration and silliness that are just like going, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go.
Perfect.
If you'd like to join Gerald to discuss a deck, or if you'd like him to review your product, contact him at.
Oh, awesome.
I guess that would be at TarotStache. Here it is.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. TarotStache@gmail.com.
I also do private readings, and I think my private readings are pretty good.
I have to tell you, they are.
So we had our 5-minute warning. You had
did.
You already got it. I can tell.
She did.
So it's our home play, right?
Home play for this week. Yep.
And the card that I got is honor your emotions.
Ah.
Well, that's all about flow.
It's all about flow. I mean, look at the flow in the card.
I know. Beautiful.
Right? That connection. And look at it too, right? Like here we are. We've talked about okay, so I'm going to be back. Okay, the sun. And look at all the dots and all the stream coming in. It's almost like the neutrinos, right? And all the
Right.
energy that's flowing into us.
It is.
That comes in. And it's so important while we're going through that process to honor all the things that come up for us, because they're coming up for us to clear us out, right?
Exactly.
And to make space and to move us along our journey. And so honoring it allows for that. So I just thought that was a really cool kind of image to go with, what we talked about. So
good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Quick hello to Garnet. Hey, Garnet.
hello.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. So honor your emotions. Your emotions are great wisdom keepers that guide you through the mysterious realms of the sacred feminine. Your feelings are messengers of valuable information. Do not fear the message these emotions are trying to deliver. They are not trying to harm you. They just want to be felt. In your world, you have been trained to push your feelings away, and this has caused great imbalance. Your feelings are sacred. Honor them and know that it is okay to feel hurt or angry. The emotional body is often misunderstood and needs your light to shine into darkness. Because some of your emotions are painful, it is easy to be afraid of them. Feelings that seem to come unbidden or unpredictably in any given moment. But we grandmothers know that feelings are much wiser than that. They appear for a reason. Let the feelings flow through you, grandchild. Emotions come in waves and peak and flow like the ocean. Feel them all the way through to the end. We promise they will end. The Creator gave you the emotional body to remind you when you have forgotten your connection to the love of creation. Connect now and feel our loving embrace. We are always with you.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
I love
There
that.
we go.
Feelings just want to be recognized. They want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I
don't
love
need
that.
to explain them away. Yeah.
No, and when it comes to, this idea of failure and the ability to trust and how we surrender and all of that, right? We have to be able to recognize the role that our emotions have. And so surrendering to them actually can help us to learn how to trust.
Yeah.
And mic drop. That was good. It's like,
Yeah. Fan form.
I mean, seriously, that's, it's like, dang, you just wove that all through.
Very good.
That's what you get when you watch Twillow talk.
That's right. Or TwillowStache.
Or TarotStache.
Well, you get it when you watch Twillow talk too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Any of the Twillow stuff.
Yes.
Thank you, Hypnicity. Another great show. I agree. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly imperfect. That is like my favorite. Do you know that one? I have found that so freeing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When I integrated that, I am perfectly
Nice.
imperfect.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Yeah.
what are you up to this week, Gerald? You've told us one of them. You're always up to so many things. What's up this week?
I've got a whole bunch of shows. It would just be easier if people go over and subscribe to my channel, because I probably have like 5 shows scheduled this week, and I just got a text about another show possibly.
Ooh,
I will say I am looking forward to, tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, Jamie and I have deck creator Eric Mail coming on to talk about what he's been working on.
Oh,
He's
cool.
the creator of the Ink Witch and the Endless Oracle. He also is the illustrator for this deck.
Ooh,
that's beautiful.
And has another deck on Kickstarter. But in a week from Tuesday, Jamie, Zane, Betsy, and I are getting together, and we are introducing a new hashtag that people will have an opportunity to do video responses to if they care to.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Stay tuned for that. It's going to be incredible.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got lots of feedback coming in here. So Kaylee, perfectly imperfect makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
If we were all perfect, life would be boring. That's true. And what is perfect anyways, right?
Well, truly. I mean, what is perfect for each person is different.
Yeah.
So it might be boring. It might be
Absolutely.
rough.
But see, as we look on the outside, we may think someone is perfect, but in reality, they're not. So
That's right.
it's very, very interesting.
Thank you, Sharon. Sending them back to you, and thank you for all your support there in the chat. We appreciate all that you do. Big hugs to you as well. Jen, what are you doing this week?
You got me. This is it. For now, I'm on Twillow on Mondays, and sometimes I'm on a couple other things. But this week, this is it. I have something else that's been in the works for a little while. That is almost ready, and that's going to be a really interesting thing. So when it's ready, I will bring it out. But it's getting close. That's why I'm bringing it out. Go see. Getting close.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to talk about our mid-month readings too.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So we usually do mid-month readings, so we'll get back to you on when that will be. So stay tuned, like and subscribe so you get the notification.
Yeah, that should be like coming
soon.
up because we're about the mid-month. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just so much fun. Sorry, but it is.
Stay tuned.
Awesome.
As for me, what am I doing? I am a lot of weird stuff this week. Okay. I've done some Bridge to the Galaxy, so stay tuned for that. They're going to be out this week, I'm hoping, this week, next week, because we're gearing up for our conference. And so the conference that we're doing, it's with the Alliance for Terrestrial Diplomatic Contact. And I am thrilled to be a speaker at this conference. I'm on the roster as one of the first. That's new, so none of the stuff indicates it yet, but I am one of the speakers. And so stay tuned you can sign up for free. It's actually free, or by donation, which we really appreciate because the whole thing is very much run by volunteers. And it's all about helping people find more love and creating diplomatic contact, or a space for safe diplomatic contact with ETs during disclosure. So so come and join us. It should be a fun day. Lots of great speakers going to be there. And I'm going to be up early. I think I speak at 7 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, John's herbs.
You're such an early bird all the time. You love the morning.
I love the morning.
I believe you.
Says the night owl who's like,
I'm a 2 a.m. bed girl.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a holistic fair coming up. Thank you, Dawn.
Yes.
Jen and I will both be at the Holistic Fair in Ottawa. And it is on the 20th at the Nepean Sportsplex.
Yes.
Holistic Healing Fair is the name of it. And so I've actually just posted something today, I believe. If I didn't, I will be, about the Holistic Fair. And so stay tuned for that, and come and meet us there. The first 50 actually get a free goodie bag. First 50 that go in. So, so that's a great one to come and join us.
Yeah, thanks. I'm like, oh yeah, nothing. Thinking like about the online stuff, but yeah, that's
we got that too.
That's exciting.
Very nice.
We do. We have that. So that's awesome. Oh, I think actually the other thing that we have going on is Gary Chatham that I mentioned earlier, who does the websites and stuff. He also is certified in Bach flower remedies, and he's giving the intro to Bach flower remedies, which is the level 1 for the certification course. So he's got level 1 this week on Wednesday. Okay, so twillowlifestyle.ca, and then he follows it up with 3 weeks for the certification on Wednesday evenings as well. Nice. So if you want to, learn how to harness that Bach flower remedies, I'm jumping in.
Mhm.
Rescue remedy. You guys have probably heard of that. That's a
Yep.
Bach flower remedy. So there's
Yep.
there's a lot more than just rescue remedy. That's just the one that's been really popular. So
We've needed a lot of rescuing.
yeah, we have lately. Yeah. So anyway, so come check that out as well. That's all on twillowlifestyle.ca under
I love
events. And yeah. So we're good.
Good stuff.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. We've got a thumbs up from our skeleton man. And
Thanks, everybody.
Mhm.
It's always about the prop, okay?
Awesome. And again, happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadians out there.
Mhm.
And we really appreciate you joining us today with
Thank you.
on your holidays.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And Jen and I will see you next week, where we will be hosting Jonathan Daly as our
Oh.
guest
Oh,
next
yay.
week.
Very nice.
So
Who's that Jonathan Daly?
I don't know. He was in the chat or something. I don't know.
Oh,
So, yeah.
awesome.
So Jonathan will be joining
Very
us. And then the following week, we will have Dr. Lisa Thompson joining us as well. So we've got lots of great guests coming up.
Exciting.
So come on back to Twillow Talk or TwillowStache next month. And and we'll see you soon. Sending you all tons of love. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.